Recorded in session and cause number 3175500 and cause number 328022. Both cases are style of state of Texas versus Jerry Jean Blackater the third. Mr. Blackater, would you please come forward?
Yes, sir.
Is your full name Jerry Jean Blackater the third?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Blackater, how are you doing?
Better now.
Okay,
Finally got out the hospital again.
okay. Now, Mr. Blackater, your case has set on the court's, you have one case that's set on the court's motion to revoke probation docket. And the other case is not a motion to revoke probation. Your case is reset to give you an opportunity and time to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
I still haven't got released to go to work yet. No, sir.
Okay.
I fill out the paper to get a court appointed.
Yeah, you can fill one out.
Okay.
Yeah, once you're given the judge's explanation to defendants or judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. And you can fill that out. And he's gonna need the affidavit as well. And you're gonna have a seat in the gallery out there, in one of the chairs that have the black and yellow tape on it.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, and behind the wall.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can go have a seat. He'll bring it to you. Mr. Smith, would you please come forward? Court is in session and cause number 320442. Case is style of state of Texas versus Leroy Smith. Mr. Smith, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how are you doing, Mr. Smith?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. Mr. Smith, I have before me a second amended motion to revoke your probation. In this motion, it alleges that on the 9th day of May of 2019, that you were found guilty for the offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration of 0.15 or more. and your punishment was set at 180 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $500. The confinement was probated for a period of 1 year. That simply means that you were placed on probation for 1 year. On February 21st of 2020, the state filed the second amended motion to revoke your probation. In this motion, there are 9 allegations. Now, if the court finds any one of these allegations to be true, your probation can be revoked and you could be assessed up to 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
Mhm.
Now, Mr. Smith, as a defendant in a criminal case, you have 3 options. Number 1, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option?
Mhm.
Number 2, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Number 3, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
If you want an attorney to represent you and have enough money to hire an attorney, the case will be reset to give you time to do so. If you want an attorney and do not have the money to hire one, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire so that the proper person can determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. You may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in a worse outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant legal rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. If you choose to proceed without an attorney, you may change your mind at any time and may request counsel from the court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, at the bottom of the document that you will be given, it reads, defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is, I want to reset this case to hire my own attorney, then you will place your initials on the first line to the left. If your choice is, well, if you have already hired an attorney to represent you, then you will place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you want to apply for a court-appointed attorney, then you will place your initials on the third line to the left. Now, if you have already been appointed a court-appointed attorney, then you will place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If you want to waive your right to an attorney and represent yourself, then you will place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Do you understand?
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Bailiff, would you please give him that document? And now, once you finish putting your initials on one of the 5 lines, then you will sign at the bottom where it says defendant and you place today's date, March 4th of 2022. The bailiff will hand you a copy of the judge's explanation. Once you get that copy, you can have a seat in the gallery in one of the chairs that have the black and yellow tape.
Mhm.
And then once you finish, he'll come back and pick it back up from you.
Okay.
Yeah, just have a seat back there and one of the chairs in the black, have black and yellow tape. This is cause number 327796. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Lisa Marie Carr. We have present before us Ms. Carr. Ms. Carr, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How are you doing, Ms. Carr?
I'm blessed. Thank you, sir. And you?
I'm blessed as well. Now, Ms. Carr, you are actually representing yourself, you're pro se in this case. And your case was reset because the district attorney has decided that they wanted to see what happened with the case that you have in Lubbock. Is
Yes,
that
sir.
correct?
Yes, sir. And they reset it once more till the 11th.
Of what
on
month?
Thursday. It's this coming Thursday.
Oh,
And I did not know how to get in touch with you guys to tell you what.
Your Honor, if she signed the appropriate paperwork, I'd like to talk to her.
oh, yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. Let me make sure, pull up a file. I think she signed, said she wanted to represent herself. This is Lisa Carr on the announcement docket.
You want the judge's explanation?
No, what's the next phase? Is there a waiver that's attached?
A waiver of counsel?
Right, that she signed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, that's fine. That means that she's representing herself. You know, the prosecutor can talk.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
you're welcome.
Have a very blessed day.
All right, same to you. Okay, we're gonna go back on the record. Court is back in session and cause number 3277796. Case is style of State of Texas versus Lisa Marie Carr. Ms. Carr, would you come forward? Okay, Mr. Ham?
Yes, Your Honor. The state and Ms. Carr will reset so that she has time to resolve her case in Lubbock.
Okay, how much time do we need?
A typical reset, I believe,
Okay,
April 8th.
let's reset to April 8th.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Carr, your case is reset to April 8th of 2022. You can get your reset from our court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You as well, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Back on the record in cause number 317500 and cause number 328022. Both cases are styled the State of Texas versus Blackature the third. Mr. Blackature, would you please come forward? Mr. Blackature, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Blackature, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Blackature, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Blackature, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanations of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Mr. Blackature, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled
Yes, sir.
Defendant? Are these your initials on the line stating that you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I have another document here. This document is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Blackature, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant's Signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Blackature, did you read both of these documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes,
to the
sir.
best of your knowledge? Now, Mr. Blackature, I've read your answers in the judge's explanations of rights to defendants without an attorney. And based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Don Boudreaux.
Yes, sir.
You will stand on the X in front of our court coordinator. She will give you the information that you need to get in contact with Mr. Boudreaux, and Mr. Boudreaux will also be given information on how to get in contact with you,
Yes, sir.
okay? So you can stand on the 4X in front of the court coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
When you're done, come on. Okay, please. Go ahead. I don't know yet, that's not good. Let me finish the one that I'm doing.
No, 22. Am I on the
Ne- Okay. Next case is cause number 320442. Case is filed with State of Texas versus Leroy Smith.
I'm gonna just go over one, because you're both gonna do the same. Can you hear me?
Mr. Smith, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Smith, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
You may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Smith, I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document? You have to speak up. She's,
Yes.
okay. And is this your signature on the line that's
Yes,
titled
sir.
defendant? Are these your initials on the line stating that you want to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Next document that I have is titled the Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Smith, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Smith, there's a signature on the line that's titled defendant signature. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Smith, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Smith, I've read the affidavit of indigence, and based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And your attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Tom Burbank. You're gonna stand on the far X in front of our court coordinator. She will give you the information on how to contact Mr. Burbank. Mr. Burbank will be given information on how to contact you. Please stand on the far X, and once you finish at the window, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
All right, you did it.
The court is in session and calls number 322044. Case is style of State of Texas versus Anthony McCullough. Now, for the record, is your name Anthony McCullough?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCullough, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. McCullough, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Sir.
Mr. McCullough, you may put your hand down. Mr. McCullough, how are you doing? That's good. Mr. McCullough, you're here represented by your attorney, Ms. Laura Perazzo. Ms. Perazzo, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor, thank you.
And the state is represented by Attorney Blank Ham. Attorney Ham, how are you doing?
Doing well, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. McCullough, I have before me a document that has been filed by the District Attorney's Office is titled Information. This information alleges that on or about February 21st of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of criminal trespassing. Mr. McCullough, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. McCullough, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCullough, I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit Number 1. It's the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. McCullough, there's a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Are these your initials? On page 3 of this same document, Mr. McCullough, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant. Is that your signature? On the next document, which is titled the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature above the line that's titled defendant? Mr. McCullough, there are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCullough, I have another document before me. This document It's titled the trial courts, or it's titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. McCullough, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned to you, did your attorney, Ms. Ferrazzo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that she went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCullough, are you a US citizen?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections.
No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Ferrazzo, you have advised and counseled Mr. McCullough. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. McCullough, your attorney, Ms. Ferrazzo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCullough, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, the agreement is for 5 days' time served, court costs to be taxed and retired.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. McCullough, the state is offering that you serve 5 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 5 days in jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for time served. The court cost in this case, Mr. McCullough, is $397. But you will not have to pay the $397 because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. McCullough, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. McCullough, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. McCullough, you're going to stand on the X next to your attorney. Going to follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you.
And Ms. Ferrazzo, I think,
Did you want me to wait around on Mr. Riley, or
I mean,
would
he's,
I be free to leave? And I guess
I think-
you'll give me a copy, or I can get a copy of the dismissal.
yeah, if he doesn't have it, it'd just be a reset.
That would be correct. From the state's perspective, yes, Your
Right. Okay, yeah, you're free to go.
Thank
You have a
Your
blessed
Honor.
day and have a safe trip.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Mrs. McCullough, can I go ahead and get your right thumbprint on the blue light in front of you? Lift it back up and place it back down gently, it didn't pick it up. There we go. All right, you can remove your thumb. And we don't need any signatures because it was time served. So this is just a copy of your commitment.
Guillory
for
is
your
not
records.
here.
That's good to know. Oh, did y'all have a cash fund?
Looks like there's a
What's his name?
surety, it's a surety.
Oh,
Let me, I can double check.
Yeah, it says it's a surety.
Oh, okay.
So what's going
Thank
on?
you.
Thank you.
Look, I got you.
I think Ryan.
Court is in session and cause number 323-360 and cause number 323-364. Both cases are filed in the state of Texas versus Derek Eugene Thomas Senior. Mr. Thomas, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
That's good. Mr. Thomas, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Alvin Samuel. Attorney Samuel, how you doing?
I'm wonderful, Your Honor.
Mr. Samuel, what is your announcement in Mr. Thomas's cases?
Nothing, he rejects the offer, I'd like to go to trial.
Okay, give us a trial date. What is it?
April
25th?
April
25th.
25th.
Okay, Mr. Thomas,
Yes, sir.
your case will be reset to April 25th of 2022. Your attorney will be signing for your reset. Once your attorney signs for your reset and you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You too.
Okay, stand over there.
Thank you.
before I ask. No, you're gonna stand over there and sign. You have to sign, Mr. Samuel.
Yes. Okay, well. Listen. Mhm. Huh? Thank you. Judge, have a
All
wonderful
right.
red and white day.
Okay. Red, white.
That, what's that? Oh, not